Kia ora Star Wars fans, welcome to middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures. Now in this video we're going to check out a new vintage collection figure, and that is VC374, the Imperial Shock Trooper. I know I've got a lot to say about this figure, and I've got other figures to compare it to, so come check it out. Alright, and let's take a look at the figure on the card back, and you can see there it's on a Clone Wars film out, which I'm not super stoked about, and I know that my buddy Tyler from TVC, he's annoyed with this. He's bought dozens of these, and it really should be on a Revenge of the Sith card. And as other people have pointed out, they're not even Imperial Shock Troopers at this stage. So card image, a bit of a mystery. Even the card number, VC374, we'll compare that in a moment with one of the newer 501st Troopers, which kept the same number. But other than that, it looks like an incredible figure. We're going to check that out. So this is what I'm talking about, the inconsistency of card back numbers. So this has been given a brand new number, VC374, whereas this one, completely new figure on a new film out for the Obi-Wan series, and I do love that film out. Again, it could have been sourced to Revenge of the Sith. It kept the VC240 number, so some inconsistency there. Alright, and comparing Shock Trooper card backs in the vintage collection, there's no contest at all. I love this image from Mustafar from Revenge of the Sith. Even though it's the old skinny mold of the clone, the orange and the lava and the red just pops big time. And on the back there you can see that's VC110. Well, can you see that, or do I need to do that? There we go, it's VC110. So that was from the very final wave of Vintage Collection 1.0. And bonus with that wave is they came with alternate card backs. So this is called the Lost Line look. Same figure, different packaging. And I remember I wasn't really back into collecting then, but I came across a store that had two of every figure, one in sort of this one and one in the Lost Line. So yeah, and I bought a couple of the traditional TVC ones. So yeah. So the colour of the name pill does actually kind of match the Lost Line, but yeah, not super chuffed with that film out. And just before we open these up, I mean, this one's got a crushed bubble, so that's definitely going to be open, but have a look there. The Ring of Death is back. I thought they'd sorted that. There's even a faint one on this one. So this is where the bubbles in the case are pressed too hard together like that. And it leaves a little image on the card. Right, and here they are loose, and I've got to say I really like the red glossy paint job. And they both come, of course, with the DC-15 rifle and the DC-15 carbine. Now, these are, there's no paint details at all. Sometimes you get the little silver painted on the little gas canisters, and these are cast in not black, but it's sort of like a gunmetal grey or a dark grey, I guess, so a little bit of inconsistency there. Let's have a look at the paintwork. Something I noticed straight away on this guy is it's like some weird white scuffing down by his shins. But other than that, let's have a look. It's quite a intricate paint job on these guys. Is he going to stand up again? Or is he going to fall over? No, he's standing up. So let's have a look at this guy close up. And you can see there's lots of paint detail on there, lots of little stripes. It's like it's pretty well lined up. Even painted the little silver details on the breathing nozzles or whatever they are. Those little stripes there. That triangle looks like it's just slightly missed maybe. And there's a bit of wear and tear scuffing around the armor. But looks cool. I love that nice glossy red. And some stripes there. A little bit of colour bleed round by the joints. But yeah, he looks pretty cool actually, and that's what they had to do right with this figure. They got the right mold now. They needed to make it a non-removable head, which they've done, a full helmet, so it's the best shape, and nail the paint job, so I think they've done that. The articulation, I won't go too much into it because you guys know this by now, but the cool thing is the barbell hips, the newest mold of the Clone Trooper, and that looks really awesome in that Shock Trooper livery. Alright, so if you've been following this channel, you might know that I'm packing away a lot of my Star Wars figures, but guess what? I kept some out for just this occasion. Here is the Shock Trooper, which I believe is the OG. This is the quick draw action one, so if you squeeze his leg, he's got a quick draw, so some people really like this mold, but you can see next to the new mold it's kind of wonky. You can see that's a darker, glossier red on the new figures. And that's just an outdated figure. Oh, and he has this removable shoulder pauldron, which is pretty interesting. And then around about Legacy Collection time, I'm picking, they had these what are known as the antenna mold, because he has the little antenna on the back. Very similar to the 2005 figure. Very similar helmet, actually. And that one looks pretty decent as well. And then the Vintage Collection ones, which I showed you the cardbacks for earlier. This is known as the skinny clone mold. And yeah, so that's another of those Shock Troopers. So there's various commanders and stuff like that, but I think that's all the variations of the grunt. Let me know in the comments if there's others I've missed. Alright, and some other clones in the same mold. So we got in the 4-pack, we got 2 of these plain white clones. We've got a 5.0 first one. These are the ones with the non-removable helmets, and they are super cool. And we also got a 332nd clone in that pack as well. And lastly, but not leastly, we have the 5.0 first clone that was again renumbered VC240, which I showed you just before. And like this new Shock Trooper, the colors are much more glossy, so I really do like that actually. I think the glossiness on the bright white looks really cool, and I prefer that over the matte finish. Alright, and here we are, a whole bunch of clones, and as I said earlier, I'm packing away all my figures at the moment. There's exciting stuff happening at the MAKMCSWF HQ, but I'm really looking forward to being able to set all these guys up again, and hopefully in the not too distant future on a gunship as well. What else for the channel? I'm still waiting for my Cantina, and of course the last figure standing is open now, so vote now for your top 10 characters that you want in the Vintage Collection. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures. Ka kite, and I'll see you on another video.